Hello, beautiful souls. It's Rose with Psychic Readings with Rose, here to bring you your May 2023 Psychic Tarot card reading for the sign of Virgo. So my Virgos, we have a full moon in the sign of Scorpio on May 5th. It's a full moon lunar eclipse and it's in your third house. So if your day-to-day activities, your daily responsibilities, short distance travel, siblings, can be cousins too, and also the mental, the way you mentally operate your day-to-day functions, all that good stuff, right? So let's dive right into your reading. Like I always say, time is fluid and divine timing. So whenever you're watching this reading is the right time for you to watch it, whether you're watching it before the full moon lunar eclipse or after the full moon lunar eclipse, the messages will still apply to you. As I always say, time is fluid and divine timing. And also because these eclipses can go out 6 months and the energy from what changes in your life can play out over the next 2 years. So let's see with the recent past regarding your current energy, my Virgos, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and stelliums, is the 10 of Wands in the upright position. So you've been working really, really hard, Virgo, and I'm not shocked. I'm really not shocked. Maybe some of you have a Sagittarius rising or Sagittarius moon. I feel more like rising Sagittarius I'm reading for, with Virgo Sun or Virgo moon or Virgo in your Venus. This message still applies to you. Of course, you have a Virgo stellium. You're definitely Virgo. So this isn't a fiery element. It can be that these past 2 new moons that we've had in the sign of Aries had affected you differently, and you've been working really, really, really hard to the point where you are at the completion, because it's at number 10, a 10 of Wands. It could have been a lot of stress. You could have been working on a goal of yours. It could be something that you're very passionate about. So for many of you, it will be different for all of you because this is a general reading. But for many of you, it's something that you're passionate about. It can be a workout. It can be your job, your career that you love. Maybe you homeschool your children and you're very passionate about that. And it's a lot of work because maybe you have more than one child here. And if it's not, maybe it's your pets or your loved ones. It's with the third house being lit up here, it's definitely something to do with your day-to-day activity and how you feel about doing it. And then how your siblings or your cousins or your aunts, nieces, nephews, or extended family. So maybe you don't have that, and maybe they don't live near you, but maybe you speak to them from far. They live long distance, so they live far away, out of the country, out of the state. Maybe just not so close. It doesn't matter. It's still the house of that, all that stuff. So things can be coming up. Maybe you haven't spoken to a sibling in a while, and now you had started to speak to a sibling or a cousin or an aunt or an uncle that you hadn't spoken to in a while, and it's bringing up the same stress and the same drama, but it had to be done for whatever reason. For many of you, like I said, it's just working out, working hard at your goals and your what you're driven to, and you're at the point of exhaustion and completion, but just because of your hard work and dedication, Virgo. Okay, I'm not surprised because you guys are very hard workers, my busy little bees. But it will be different for all of you. So in order to hone in directly on how this is affecting you, my beautiful Virgos, you can look into my About section and contact me, and we can set up a reading, okay? So in the current position, we have a very Piscean energy. I love Pisces. So the Hanged Man. So especially if I'm talking to my Virgo risings, I mentioned Sag rising before. Virgo risings, you guys are highly intuitive, right? So it wouldn't even surprise me if some of you have Pisces in your moon, or maybe Pisces in Gemini, Pisces stellium, which is like a triple Pisces type of energy, which is so intuitive. I want to say you're looking at things differently in life. You're being forced to, almost like you're being forced to look at things differently in life. The hangman puts himself in that position to look at life from a different angle. So it's like kind of like all this hard work and this completion, because you've completed something here that you're passionate about. It's making you look at life differently and seeing things differently. So maybe for some of you, it's time for you to retire. Maybe for some of you, it's time to let go of that project. Maybe for some of you, it's time to let go of something that you're passionate about, but is just, it served its purpose in your life. And now you're ready to, you know, really think about how you're feeling differently about stuff, and the people around you and the people that you associate with, maybe certain family members, so co-workers, people in your building, people, roommates. It's going to be playing out differently for all of you, but I'm feeling very strongly that because of your hard work and your perseverance, the universe is rewarding you with looking at things differently. Okay, the Hangman is a very powerful card. I love the card whether it's upside down or reverse. I don't really feel it gets bad either scenario. It just depends on, like, you know, the other cards and what I'm feeling for you. But I feel like you're being rewarded, kind of like the universe is blessing you with this this knowledge, and kind of like giving you kind of some kind of mental clarity about how you can change things up in your life so that you can work smarter, not harder. Or maybe some of you not work anymore at all because you have worked so hard. The time is now to kind of sit back and let other people take on those responsibilities. For those of you who are watching who has a daughter or daughter-in-law who has been trying to have a child, I feel like you're going to get the news that you're going to be a grandmother or grandfather soon. So that's really beautiful. For some of you, if it's your daughter, congratulations. For some of you, it's you. If you've been wanting to have a child for a very long time, you're very passionate about trying to probably naturally do childbirth and trying maybe to, you finally think that maybe you're pregnant and you don't want to know yet, or maybe it's too soon to know, but you're feeling like maybe you are. So it's time to kind of like maybe think about, you know, how, if you're pregnant, how your day-to-day routine and activities will show up, especially if you might be a little bit older. You might want to it depends on, you know, what your age is and how good you are with your body, because I feel like many of you are very physically fit. But still, if you're going to have a child, you still have to eliminate certain things from your life, or just be careful. Speak to your doctor, because I'm not a doctor. But yeah, I'm getting that strongly, and I'll let you guys know why as I move on to the third card. So like I said, for men, this is a daughter. For female, it could be you or your mother. Depending on if you date men or date women. Men, this could be that you're finding out that your surrogate is now pregnant. If you date men, otherwise you found you've going to adopt a child or a pet. Definitely can be a pet. Okay, so, and it's local. It's somewhere in your area. I know if it's a child coming into your life, it's because somebody locally in your community, somehow through your local channels, maybe family, siblings helping you out with this or something. But it looks like a rebirth, definitely, but in not going far. Like it's not like you're on like a spiritual quest and you're gonna go to India and you're gonna go to Sri Lanka and you're gonna, you know, visit the Greek islands. It's nothing like that. It's more like within yourself and your day-to-day activities, from doing so much, you know, and for being so passionate and you know, regimented about what you were doing. You kind of like, now you're like, wow, it comes surprise you, like, wow, things are so different now. I know these eclipses have been shifting a lot of us into the new earth energy and this golden age and the age of Aquarius I always speak of, that I'd love to like finally like reap the rewards of the Aquarian age, and I think you guys are really close to it. Okay, so I love that, Virgo. So this is why I said about pregnancy of any kind. It can be a family member, a close family member. It can be a close friend, someone in your community, somebody that you work with. It's going to play out differently. But the Empress is definitely pregnant. Okay, now she doesn't have to be pregnant, actually with child. It can be pregnant with a new idea. She's about to give birth to a new idea. So like I said, it will be a different scenario, but there is a giving birth here. There is an ending and a beginning, and so it's not really a gestational period. This is like about to happen. Okay, so this is a Taurus energy. So maybe for many of you, it's more defined now as to who this person is in your life. If you have a Taurus female that you are close to in your life, mother, sister, grandmother, there is a birth. Could be a rebirth of a new relationship. Maybe some of you have lost contact with a sibling or a cousin or something like that. And maybe your mother or your grandmother had something to do with you guys rekindling that connection. Okay, because there is a definite birth and rebirth here. Maybe some of you are also, that you're pregnant and you're not telling anybody, and you're figuring out how you're going to do the announcement, especially if you're not carrying yourself. So that's so exciting too, with like a surrogate or an adoption ceremony or something like that. But the Empress, regardless if you have kids or not, it doesn't really matter here. Whether you have children or not, it's a rebirth of any kind. We don't need to have children physically, biologically, to have a rebirth or to have kids. We all know that. So this to me looks very, very, very beautiful, very, very mystical, and from much of your hard work. For some of you, really need to slow down and understand that there's enough prosperity and abundance for you to kind of take a step back in your job or your career. Maybe something that you've a career that you've built for yourself, and now you can hand it on to one of your children or a niece or a cousin, right? And just sit back and relax and, adjust your crown here and enjoy, relish in the beauty of your life and how much you've accomplished things, and how much hard work is important for feeling a sense of accomplishment, especially for you Virgos. My Virgos, you are like very driven and busy beavers, and you always seek an opportunity, and you always get an opportunity to reinvent yourself, almost like Scorpio, but Scorpio is water. It's more fluid energy. You guys are my earth signs, so you're depending on what your rising, what your moon is, but it's more of a slower moving energy. It's more of a stable moving energy. I'm not saying that water signs are unstable, because I am a double Cancer, so it's just that the earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, tends to be slower moving, but in any event, very very steady, and it's somebody that you can depend on. So my Virgos are very dependable. Now with the Pisces card here, the Hangman card here, this can also speak of people from your past coming back into, maybe people who moved away are moving back to your neighborhood or something, or they're back in your energy. They come back around, and it's even a better relationship now. You have more things to talk about. You have exciting news to tell each other that happened in your lives, because you kind of lost touch for whatever reason, probably because of work, Virgo. Probably because of working so hard at accomplishments. So this is really a very beautiful reading, Virgo. I'm very happy to see this for the month of May for you, with this full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Scorpio. It's going to be really beautiful. We've had a lot of stuff going on astrologically, and we're in the crux of it now. This is eclipse season, and there's many changes. Always stay high vibe, Virgo. I know you guys always do, especially if you have Pisces, a strong Pisces placement in your chart, or if you're involved with a Pisces, romantically or not. This definitely has a romantic element to it, because I definitely see like a rebirth. So you could be meeting, your soulmate, your twin flame also, and he or she were right in front of your face, gender being fluid. So like they kind of like go right under your nose the whole time. So that makes it more seem like it was meant to be type of thing. So yeah, you're gonna have to let me know in the comments. Let me know how this plays out for you. I would love to hear about who this beautiful Empress is. This Taurus Queen, this Hangman, this beautiful Pisces King here. Of course, the genders can be different. If we're speaking of same-sex couples here. But it's just beautiful, really. It's, I always say I believe in hard work, and I do believe that once you reach a certain point in your life where you've worked so hard, it's okay to kind of take a step back and take a step down and go into semi-retirement or retire or just take a break. Especially if you were struggling getting pregnant or getting your partner pregnant, whatever the case may be. Now it's time to really nurse this baby, right? Even if it's a book that you're going to distribute, like something local, definitely something locally going on with you in your community that you have to bring to the table. So it's beautiful. So the advice and message from Spirit is very humbling. The Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. Now, with all these gorgeous cards here, because 10 of Wands, this is not a negative card. This is just very hard work and being, carrying heavy burdens. But it doesn't mean that it's bad. It's the end of, working really hard, like grassroots type of stuff. Like building a house from the ground up. It takes a lot out of us. It's not easy, but it's rewarding, right? So the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse here, because we have all these beautiful cards, like I said, with the Hangman, the Empress, it's really high power, right? I feel like the universe is trying to say to you, because she's more, she's more salt of the earth, very earthy female in the upright position, somebody who probably is like a Reiki master, yoga instructor. She also could be a very high in the financial world. Maybe she's a stockbroker. Maybe she's owns her own business, counting, or good with money. And she's practical too. So if she's in the upright position, she's very practical and she's very giving and very free with with what she with her paycheck and with how she takes care of her family and everything. She doesn't need anyone. She doesn't have to depend on anybody. So with it being in the reverse and the message of the Empress here, because it's very Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy here, I want to say that Spirit is trying to tell you, remember back then when you didn't have the resources or the abundance or the prosperity or the fertile, beautiful mindset that you're in now. Remember when you didn't have that and you were asking, when is it coming? I'm working so hard and hard and hard and I don't see it yet, and now you finally just, you're feeling it right now in the current situation. You're feeling it with the Hangman, right? And Spirit wants you to remember how far you've come. For some of you, you made a total transformation. For some of you, I'm not gonna lie, and this is what's coming to me from Spirit, and I have to say it. Some of you spent many years not working and not pulling up to your end of the bargain, and then all of a sudden you had an epiphany, right? And you decided to put yourself out there. For many of you, you were not bringing anything to the table. Maybe you weren't being good to yourself. You were being reckless. You were spending money foolishly. And the Queen of Pentacles is in the reverse, is showing up into your reading for Spirit to let you know, no matter what you have done in the past is in the past. But remember when you could never see yourself being the Empress, right? And getting out of a different way of thinking because you were so stuck on, oh, that's never going to work. So when you put yourself out there to work, you got the Empress. Now, the Empress is psychic. She loves children. She loves animals. She loves nurturing everyone. in her life. She knows a lot of ancient wisdom. You know, she's very much like the high priestess energy, okay? And yeah, she just, you know, she knows when to relax and take it easy. So you're definitely getting into that nesting phase of your life, you know, where you're taking it easy because something amazing, something beautiful, something very blessed is about to happen to you. So the universe is saying, don't forget where you came from. You know, you were always the queen, but maybe your crown wasn't on so straight. You know, maybe you had to make some adjustments, and you did. And see, forgive, you know, have you forgiven yourself? Maybe not yet, maybe not currently right now, you haven't forgiven yourself, but you sure will. Self-forgiveness is the most important thing, I feel, because we all make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. Nobody wears a halo on their head. We all have a story to tell. Vampires has plenty of stories. And Spirit is telling you it's good to focus on when you had nothing, okay? When you had very little resources and couldn't see the forest from the trees. And you weren't very grounded in reality either. Look how your life did this 360, right? And now you are the Empress. So beautiful. Really beautiful reading. I'm so excited for you guys, Virgo. I really am. And I'm really happy for you. Congratulations to many of you who are having a child come into their life, whatever way it comes in. It's beautiful. So yes, so if you made it to the end of this reading and you like what I had to say, please click the subscribe button and like, share, comment below. Let me know how this resonates with you. And I will see you in the mid-month. Many blessings.